Under correlation analysis, we first deal with something called as the covariance between two variables. Between X and Y. The covariance between X and Y is denoted by cov xy, okay, and is defined as covariance xy is equal to summation xy by n minus summation x by n into summation y by n. This is the formula that you must remember for covariance. Normally in your question paper, you get a separate question on covariance. Okay, how is covariance related to correlation? Actually, the covariance is contained in the formula for correlation, but we don't study it separately. Okay, we only study the ultimate result. So you will not find covariance in the formula for correlation. Okay, for the time being, you just have to know covariance. What does the mean by covariance? So you see, I have given you a problem here in which I have said calculate the covariance between x and y for the following data. This is all the values for x, and these are all the values for y. Now remember one thing: whenever you are doing any statistical analysis, it is always preferable to arrange the values in ascending order or descending order. Mostly we do in ascending order. Okay, for example, if you see, I have this is already x is already arranged in ascending order, so you don't have to do anything, right? So if we are starting with x, we arrange x in the ascending order. If you see, x is already given in the ascending order, and if they are not given in ascending order, you will arrange them in ascending order, and then you will write the corresponding values of y, right? You will write all the corresponding values of y according to the values that you have written, right? So suppose if you are writing 6 here first, suppose you are writing 6 here first instead of 1, suppose 6 here is first. That means in y you are going to write 4 here, okay, and so on. So whatever it is, it is always a good practice to arrange the values of x in ascending order. Whatever value you are starting with, arrange that in ascending order. So here it is already arranged. So I've made the column for x and y, and the third column I have made for product of x and y. So this is 1 into 1 will give you 1. This is product of 3 into 2 will give you 6. Product of 4 into 4 will give you 16, and so on. Okay. Why have I made this column? I have made this column for this to calculate summation xy. Okay. And if you total up the x column, you'll get summation x. And if you total up the y column, you'll get summation y. So you make these 3 columns, and this column will give you summation x, this column will give you summation y, and this column will give you summation xy. And you put it in the formula to get the value of covariance. Okay. And another problem which you had got in your question paper, this is actually a problem from your question paper, that find covariance xy if summation xi is equal to 15, summation yi is equal to 40, summation xi yi is equal to 50, and n is equal to 5. This is a direct application from the covariance formula. Just put the values in the covariance formula and you will get the answer. Next is Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. This is the first method. Now, there are 2 methods of studying correlation coefficient. The first is Karl-Pearson's. Coefficient of correlation. And the other is Spearman's rank correlation. Okay, these 2 methods for calculating the correlation coefficient. This method has been removed from the syllabus, so we'll not discuss this method. We'll only discuss Karl-Pearson's method, coefficient of correlation. Let us see an example here. How do we calculate the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation? Now, if we see here in this problem, it is given calculate Karl-Pearson's correlation coefficient between the marks in English and and Hindi obtained by 10 students. So marks in English, I can assume these marks to be X, and marks in Hindi, I can assume this to be Y. Okay. So that is what the first column that I have made is for marks in English. You can assume the marks in Hindi to also to be X. But since I'm starting with X, what I have done here is I have arranged this in ascending order. If you see, right? I have arranged all these marks here in ascending order. So I start with 10, then comes 11, and corresponding to 11, what is the value of Y? 18. Then after 11 comes 12. And what is the corresponding value? 17. So that is what I have written. So basically, I'm arranging only X in the ascending order, and Y I am writing all the corresponding values. Okay. So once I have made the column for X and Y, okay, if you now, I'll just show you the formula. The correlation coefficient is denoted between two variables X and Y is denoted by Rxy, or sometimes also denoted by rho xy. Okay, is equal to, the formula is summation xy minus summation x. You got to remember this formula, summation y divided by n, whole divided by square root of summation x square minus summation x by n square into square root of summation y square minus summation y divided by n whole square. This is the formula. Now from the formula, now we can understand what columns we have to make. After making X and Y columns, we have to make a column for XY, you have to make a column for X square, and you have to make a column for Y square, right? These three columns you have to make. So if you see, I have made a column for X square here, for Y square, and also for XY. Okay, so X square means all the values of X squared. So this is 10 square, which is 100, 11 square, 121, 12 square, 144, and so on. Okay. For Y square, exactly similarly, 12 square is 144, 18 square is 324, 17 square is 289, and so on. Okay. And for XY, this is nothing but multiply the values of X and Y. 10 into 12 will give you 120, 11 into 18 will give you 198, and so on. Okay. And after totaling the column for X, I get summation X here. After totaling the column for Y, I get summation Y here. I get summation X square here. I get summation Y square here. And I get summation XY here. Okay. And I put all these values in this formula. This is summation XY. I put it here. Summation X I put into summation Y I put divided by N. Now what is N here? N is the number of data that is you have got. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You have got 10 observations here. So clearly here N is equal to 10. So you put the value of N as 10 here. Summation X square, from the column you can get summation X by N. Summation X, divided by N, which is equal to 10. You put summation Y square, and then you put summation Y by N also here. You put all these values and you calculate the correlation coefficient, Karl-Pearson's correlation coefficient. Okay. Now this method is a deviation method. Normally you will not require this method because calculators are available. This method is normally applied when to reduce your calculation, but I have shown you this one of its kind. So here again exactly I have arranged this in ascending order, and I have written the corresponding values of Y, marks in Hindi. And here if you see, the only difference between the above method and that after taking the deviations is that we are taking, if you see, I have taken U is equal to X minus 20. Why X minus 20? 20 is the value about which I am taking the deviation. I have taken this value 20, which is somewhere midway between these two. You can take 21 also. Okay. So 20 is somewhere midway between these two. And if you see corresponding 20, I have got what is the value here? Y. So that is why I have taken the deviations of Y about 17. And you calculate all this. So first one is 10 minus 20, which is minus 10. Second one is 11 minus 20, which is minus 9. This is 12 minus 20, which is minus 8, and so on, right? Similarly, for this one, you've got 12 minus 17, which will give you minus 5. This is 18 minus 17, which is give you 1, and so on. Okay. And the other columns, u square, v square, uv, they are exactly the same as the previous one. Why? Because even if you're taking the deviations, the formula for correlation coefficient does not change. You simply change the variable from xy to uv. Okay. So if you see, I have simply put uv instead of x and y here, right? And so you total up the columns and you put the values, you'll get your answer. Okay. So this is what deviation method is all about. So I'll stop here then.